Welcome back, everyone, to the best comics you probably haven't heard of, part 445. Let's dive into Magical and Personal World with Adora in the Distance, by Mark Bernardin and Ariella Cristantina. Adora in the Distance stars the titular Adora, a young girl found and raised in a beautiful kingdom where she's treated as a princess, and she maintains a series of happy routines. But all that changes when she learns a mysterious entity known as the Distance that has destroyed everything in its path and is heading directly for her. There is no stopping it, only accepting it as inevitability. Now, wanting to put her loved ones in danger, she decides to leave her home with a companion sent with her by her adopted father to create as much space between her home and the Distance as possible. This journey will challenge Adora's perception of the world on a truly fundamental level, and now she must grapple with being a part of a world that's losing its light in the imperceptible form of an unknown future. Adora in the Distance is a hard book to talk about, admittedly, because what makes it go from good to great involves a massive twist that happens towards the book's climax that restructures and recontextualizes everything we've seen before. So I will do my best to get into this without giving away spoilers. On the surface, Adora presents a pretty straightforward fantasy story filled with pirates, magical creatures, likable companions, and a good protagonist who seems much more mature than she should be at her age. But dig a little deeper, and you realize this is a story about moving away from a world that felt safe and familiar and into one that's filled with terrifying unknowns. It's about how to approach that unknown despite that fear, to have the maturity to recognize when you need to go into that unknown and find the bravery to follow through. As such, it's a story I admittedly underestimated for the majority of it, until I understood the intent. And once that occurred, the rest of the magic and the fear suddenly took on a whole new meaning. Adora in the Distance is a fantastic fantasy story and is well worth your time. I highly recommend.